Let's briefly discuss an interesting topic today: event bubbling and event capturing. For the most part, I think this is an inescapable topic you'll come across in JavaScript. Now, what is event bubbling and events capturing? You may ask. Okay. In layman's terms, event bubbling is the art of interacting with a DOM element object. Okay. A web element, interacting with it, and it bubbles through or it traverses through to the parents. Okay, that's bubbling. Bubbling, like if you click on the child, it bubbles. The events bubbles to the parent. And for capturing, if you click on the parent, not just click any event, it could be hover, it could be double click any event. If you let's use click to make it simple. Okay, if you click on the parent, it's the child captures the event. Okay, so here in my code, I have I have written my code here already. This is the CSS. This is the JavaScript. This is the HTML. Okay, I have a parent element and I have a child element. Okay, I want to explain. I will in at the end of this session. I'll also explain a common pitfall that people run into handling when handling cases that involve event bubbling and capturing. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, when you have a parent and you have a child, you may want to run an event on the child. You may also want to like attach an event to the parent. It depends. It depends on how your web page or your application you're working on. It just depends on the reality of your web application or web page. Okay, in this case now, from the styling, you can see I have this is my child element, this is the click me, this is the child element, and this the bigger parent elements is this one with the blue background. Okay. So now, if I click now, nothing is happening now because no events are attached here. So let me just say I have commented out some of the events I want us to discuss. Okay, but pay attention to the styling. Okay, the parents consumes the total width of the screen. It also consumes the total height. Okay, it's with a blue background and a padding top just to give us some spacing. Okay, and the button it just runs normally front side, margin left and up. To keep it like let's say in the center. Okay. For the most part now, if I should comment comment that out, okay, and I should click this, okay, it says parent click open. Okay, we expect that. We expect that. Now, if I comment this out, okay, what do we expect? Now, in this case, what I'm doing here is this. Now, if I should click the parent, you should click Bobbin, right? Definitely. And if I should click the child, you should click child click. Now, let's see. If I click the parent, it says parent clicks. If I should click the child, this click, I've not yet clicked it. But if I should click this child, it's going to run on both the parents and the child. But at what order? If the child should show up first, or the event of the child should click first, that would mean we are bubbling. Like you should click first and the parent should click next. That means we're bubbling. So let's see this. So it says child clicks. If I click OK, then parent click bubbling. Okay, so now what bubbling does is that it traverses upwards, like from child to parent. Okay. Let's see what capturing does. So if I should comment this out and I should comment this, so I can just say child capturing here and I can just say child bubbling here. Okay, so now if I should come here and now let's think about it now. Okay, what is different in both codes? What is different here is this true there's this third parameter here. Okay, you have your events here, your event type, you have your function, and you have your true. If you put true here for your third parameter, that means you are capturing. So that means if I should click this first, the parent's event kicks in. Okay, parent click capturing. Then when I click OK, the child should also click. Should also click, and that is child click OK. So if I now click OK now, so now you're basically asking yourself now. So what do you do? Okay, like if you're coding, you want to be more careful. You may be saying to yourself, like, if you comment this out, okay, and you say you just want to get an event, you just want to get the click event on the child, and you click this, and then you see there's no big issues, right? Which is fine, okay. One thing to note first is this: sometimes when you click this, you may not want the event to propagate. You may not want the event to move out. You may just want to um how do I put it? You may just want to restrain that event to the exact element you click. Okay. To do that, to stop that, all you just need to do is something called, you just run something called an event stop propagation. Okay. When you run this, it would cancel any bubbling or capturing. It won't make your event to traverse to the parent to the child. It will both for capturing and bubbling. Okay. That's important. Okay. And notice that if you use an E, sometimes you may use event for some, you just keep it as E. So if you use E, make sure that it's an E to stop propagation. Okay. If you use if it's a, you understand, just make sure it matches, all right? Now, one more thing I want to talk about is this, okay? I've opened another website here. Like, there are some instances wherein you may have a button, and that button has an image inside, and that image consumes the whole space of the button. Let me explain again. You have a button and you have an image inside, maybe an icon or whatever, an element resides inside that button, and it consumes the whole space. So now let's say this border is the button and this image here is obviously an image. And I click inside here. What should happen? This is the website, so we expect it to happen, but just think about it. What should happen? You attach a click event on the button, but when you click as a human, you click the image. What should happen? Obviously, the click event should still capture on the button, even if this image consumes the whole space. Let's assume it consumes 100%. Let me just make it clearer for us here. So let me just come here and for the parents, let me comment this out. Let me comment this out. Let's see what we got here. Okay, good. Now I want to take out I want the width. Let's just say inline block, right? Inline block. Let's see what we got here. Uh Inline block parents. Is that a div? Okay, let's just say inline. Let's see. Inline. Okay. With 50%. Okay, hold on, parent. Let's just say, okay, let's just make it explicit. Okay. Um, what am I doing? This should be display inline block. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I want that to wrap. Hold on. Let's just display inline. Let's see. All right, cool. Okay, now actually this parent is still there. It's still here, but the button consumes the whole 100% space. Now to explain, let's see whether we can have a border of, let's say, border 2 pixels solid 2. Let's see what we got here. Okay, as you can see, hold on, let me just see. Let's make it this way with 500 pixels, and this one with 500 pixels. Okay, let's just make it okay, and display inline block. Okay, I have some padding, doing something that I don't want here, some margin. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Okay, something like this now. You have this border here. Okay, now this still, let's make it a bit thicker so you can see it. Let's just say thick. Okay, solid. So let's see, that should be something like this. Now, this is the parents. This quick image is the child. Okay, now this is just for you to see. Now, if I should click this, it says child clicked. Okay, now what I'm trying to explain is this. It's a bit, you know, it's a bit important because when you click this, you may want to get the target. You may want to work with the target. You understand? Now look at this. Let me explain again. Okay, let me just comment this out. Let me comment this out. If I should click, what should happen? What will happen is that the parents would alert, and this child, let's just cancel this out, and the child too would alert. So I expect to alert, okay, the parents are alerted, capturing, and if I click OK, the child clicks at alerted. Now, look at this. Look at this. I want, when I click on the child, when I click on the parents, I want to console the log, the events. Are you following? So if I should come here now, let me just Control Shift I now. Let me come to my console now. I want to remember we have two functions running here. Now I'll expect two alerts. The parent clicks, the child clicks, and I want to see the target. I want to first see the element I'm really clicking. So if I should come here now and click this, it's apparently capturing expected, child clicks expected. Now the pointer events here. Now look at this. Can you see this? Now the pointer events here. Now if I should scroll, I want to see the target, and if I should see the target says button child. Button child. It means I click the child. Now look at now. If I should take away, or let me just say comment out the event, the click event on the child, I only now want to get the alert of the parent, and also I want to get the target of this parent. Let me see what will happen again. So if I should click this now, parent clicks capturing, okay. Now if I should scroll down and look at the target, can you see it still shows me child? I'm still targeting the child. So now imagine this was the button and this was an image inside occupying the whole space, and we're creating an application, and I click on the parents, but I want to target the child. Can you see how this can cause a problem? Now look at this app I'm building here, okay. If I click the role, okay, if I click on this role button, if I click on role, okay, look at this now. If I click, we have this dice assistant values here. If I click on 6, it says dice assistant click. I click on 5, it says click. I now look at these buttons here. These buttons have image dice images. Both buttons, they have dice images, and they consume not just practically the whole space. So working on this, the values here coming here involve me targeting or getting the target of the parent button and not this child, not the image. This is very important. So let's say, okay, I click this now, I click this, okay, it works. Then now, as you can see, this is now working automatically because this is now if I should click OK now, what is going on here now is that I have okay, let me click OK first. Okay, now it's running automatically. What I'm doing is that I'm triggering a click for the computer playing on these buttons. Now, if you look at the code here, if I should quickly come here to dice values, as you can see, this is the image of the dice, and you can see I have a ref. If you know a bit about React, I have the ref that basically references the element, and the ref has its dice ref index. Don't let me make it so complicated. Let me just come to robot.js. Now, this is where I make a click on the parent elements. Okay, now as you can see, we will have this problem. We will have this problem if we do not find a way to what is the solution now? Do we have to remove this child element, or make it smaller so that they can be some space to click on the parent element? Definitely not. So what you can do instead is this. You can come to now. Let's go back to our code. What you should do here is that you can come to your child here, your child element, then come here, then you can click pointer events none, which is a CSS rule, to basically block any events running, to basically block any events you attach to the parents to not get attached or get hooked to this child. So if I should come here now and let me now click this, okay, it says parently capturing, okay. And when I now look at this pointer event, I come to targets. As you can see now, targets gives me div ID parents. So I'm actually clicking the child now, but now it's giving me the parent. I hope you get the logic, okay? Like alerting it alerts the click on the parent. Like when you click, it catches the events. Okay, it catches the events, but the target is different. Okay, the target is different. So if you want the parent wherein its child consumes the whole space, try to use the pointer events non CSS rule to just make basically make your life easier. Okay, so catch you in the next tutorial. Okay, bye.